Hello. Welcome to a lavish conversation with Nonfixion. This is Nonfixion.
Yo,
My guest for today.
and Mikey.
And Mikey. A lavish conversation is simply a conversation about why existing is not enough. And this guest today is a music producer, a musician himself, an artist. He's a clothing designer extraordinaire, just inspiration in his own right. And I find the most inspirational people oftentimes are the most humble, but this is the most humble young man that I know.
Oh.
Yes. So Nonfixion, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, born and raised Washington D.C., so I'm a Washingtonian, man. Moved around a little bit, in the DMV area as a whole. Got into music, realized I had a gift, realized God gave me a gift at a young age, probably about 12. I was writing rhymes.
How'd you realize this gift?
Just trying to write rhymes, trying to be like Chris Cross and at the time Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Like corny rappers, but Fresh Prince was popping at the time when I was young.
Right. So, hello, everybody in the chat joining us.
Yeah.
I'm with Nonfixion, as I said. He's telling us a little bit about himself. So you started listening to Fresh Prince and everybody, and they inspired you?
Yeah, started writing rhymes, trying to write my own rhymes and memorizing my own stuff. And that's pretty much how I kind of fell into it.
Well, you're a pretty positive artist. So as far as your content and everything. Yeah. So with regard to that, did you face any type of pushback? Because, of course, having a positive message is a great thing in any music, but oftentimes in rap and hip hop, we've experienced it being lost, especially, over the years. There's a lot of, glorification of the things that are maybe not the most positive all the time. So yeah, how did you deal with that?
I didn't really get no pushback too much. Like everybody that heard my stuff was kind of like even y'all, like your friends. They was kind of like, "Hey, we talking about Jesus and it sound hot."
Yeah, you have to check out his music if you haven't already. I mean, I use him.
Put it in the chat, can't we?
Yeah, you can. Will it come up? How about you just tell him for right now?
I'm gonna type it because can I type it later?
Yes, you can. Right. Okay, so we'll pin it in the chat so you'll have it. But you definitely have to check out his music. I use him as an example all the time when younger kids are telling me how, positive rap or they don't listen to gospel rap and that type of stuff. I'll be like, oh, okay. And I'll just put it on. I won't tell them what I'm putting on. And the next thing you know, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's good, though. And I'm like, yeah, well, that was a Bible verse. You know what I mean? So I love doing that. It's always a good thing because, there's positivity that can be shined in any light, It doesn't matter how you deliver it. It's about getting it across and getting that message through.
Right.
Yeah, but so when do you feel like, since our discussion is about, going from existing to living, when do you feel like in your life is the most pivotal time that you have said, hey, I'm just existing and I need to make a change to actually start living? And what did you do to make that change?
To actually start living?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you cussed me out the other day because I was complaining about my job and
okay.
So I think I'm still trying to get to that point where I'm actually living in my purpose fully. I think I'm doing it.
But wait, what did the curse out entail? Because I feel like that's pretty relevant.
I mean, you didn't curse me out, but you just kick me in my butt.
Mm-hmm.
Just to that I'm not fully doing what I should be doing, basically.
Right, exactly. And when you're not in the space that you're supposed to be in, the universe, God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you want to call your power, your source, will make you move, will shake you and be like, hey, wait a minute, you're just existing. Shake it up. Start living.
You'll use people.
Yes, exactly. People, instances. You said that you had some signs that came to you recently, just from different people talking about things, and it made you move in a different direction.
I had to X some people out of my life.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, as you grow, everybody, as we know, there are people that are for a season, some people for a reason, and some people are for a lifetime, believe it or not. But unfortunately, most of the people that we encounter are not going to be for a lifetime for whatever reason, no matter what their title may be, their station in life, no matter what it may be. But no matter what you're doing, you have to keep on living.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, living. Yeah. Did I answer the question?
Yes. Did you have more though?
No, I didn't know if I answered it right or if I answered it effectively. I didn't know.
Okay. All right. So, but with regard to going from existing to living, my premise is that you have to do that more than one time in your life. You know what I mean? It happens multiple times. It can happen when you're a little kid and you see and you feel the discomfort, or you see the discomfort in your family. You know what I mean? What are some of the things that made some of you all in the chat shake your life up? Like when you were younger, when you think about it, it can be, people that you saw, examples. It could be examples of what not to do, even oftentimes that'll shake you up. What do you feel like was your first time that you remember saying, I need to do something different in my life?
I think it was just me being tired, feeling like I was stuck, like working like at a job. You feel like it ain't, like I feel like I ain't, like I like cooking. I have fun cooking and trying to experiment, but I'm not no cook, man. Like that's just a job.
No, you're an excellent cook, but you're not a cook by trade. What you should cook for
I don't want to be.
cookouts.
I'm not supposed to be in nobody's kitchen all day. 10 hours a day. I ain't supposed to be in no kitchen all day
at all.
That's
because if you are in a kitchen for 8 to 10 hours a day, then when are you actually living in your purpose? And if you are truly an artist, which anyone who's ever met this young man knows he's an artist to the bone. But if you are truly an artist, how are you supposed to ever enjoy that artistry? And I find that, unfortunately, especially in the United States, we're raised to work. We're raised to go to school so that you can work until you can't work anymore.
Get a degree.
Until you can't work anymore.
Get a job, retire.
And then you're supposed to do what? Like you're older, you're not able to still do all the things necessarily that you might have the opportunity to do.
I mean, you gotta say there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you do. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but
but that's not all you're made to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No matter who you are, you're meant to do more than just, go to school, to go to work, to not be able to work anymore. Your work should include things that impassion you or ignite that fire in your soul. We talk a lot about on this show about how we're all made with light and darkness within us. So I'm sure you've had opportunities in your life where you felt the darkness trying to hold you down or taking prevalence in your essence. What do you do to ensure that your light is shining?
What you mean, like darkness? Like maybe like
negativity, sadness. It could be negativity. It could present itself in so many different ways. It doesn't just have to be depression.
I mean, I find myself a lot just having a pep talk myself. I don't know if y'all do that, but I do. I pep talk myself a lot. Like I can see myself sometimes where I can be in a moment or a mood. I'm just like, I got to get out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I guess, reminding myself that like who God is in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like me reminding myself of that. It gives me a little refresher, and it's easier said than done sometimes. Like I don't want people to think you just, hey, God can do it all. Like sometimes it's easier said than done. It is. Like we ain't gonna fake. I was talking to my cousin today, and he was going through some stuff, and he knew what he needed to do, but sometimes it's like you don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier said than done when you still got to pep talk yourself. You still got to encourage yourself, but you got to do it.
So there's this book that I read not too long ago that I saw a friend post. It's called Unf Yourself, and it's basically about, about changing that programming in your mind. All of the conversations that we have, with people throughout the day, throughout, our day, our night, whatever, you have more conversations with yourself than you have with anybody else. Like you're constantly talking to yourself in your mind, quietly. That little voice, still that little voice in the mind thinking back. It's been advice from others I ignored in the past, creeping back into my thoughts. And, those are those tape recordings. not just from other people that you remember. It's also the people you don't remember recording things in your mind. Like when you were a child and somebody made fun of you or made a comment or dismissed you or made you feel rejected in any way. Those little recordings that you have to reprogram, but you have to consciously work to reprogram them. We all do, because nobody's always happy or always positive.
Yep.
And I was talking to a friend earlier about positive affirmations and how, we say things, and the book spoke about this as well, about how we say things like, I am the greatest. Now, you can stand in the mirror and say, I am the greatest till you are blue in the face. But if you don't believe you're the greatest in the first place subconsciously, you're really just talking. You're just exercising your vocal muscles. So you have to do some things to tell yourself. First off, you have to say to yourself, I embrace being the greatest. How about that? Let's start there. Let's start with the willingness to feel like I'm really the greatest, as opposed to just trying to convince myself of something that I know I don't really believe anyway. And the more you actually start to work from that place of that reflection, I feel like that's when you actually are able to make those types of changes.
I agree. Yeah, because sometimes I think even though we say it, sometimes some action need to be applied. To just your words. Sometimes action need to be put in place, and sometimes you may not know what that action is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how about that?
But you can speak it all day, but you still got something to do. Like, I know God give us all some type of gift, some type of talent, and you can be waiting on Him to do something, but you something that you got to be doing too. Like, He'll give you all of these gifts, but you got to do something with something for Him to move too.
Oh my goodness. That brings me to one of my favorite verses, which is, because people talk all the time about how we're not magical. You can't just do, you think God really meant, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you could move a mountain. Yeah, I think He really meant that. I think He meant that I could move a mountain. Can't you move a mountain? I saw a house riding down the Beltway. If you can drive a house down the Beltway, you telling me that in 2022, we can't move a mountain? I've seen mountains be there and then not be there anymore. I can carve the heads of a bunch of men up in a mountain. Surely I can move a mountain then, right? It is quite literal, actually, when you break it down that way. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, so this much light, this much belief in you, you can move a mountain. And if that means you can move a mountain, surely you can impact light and impact positivity in your environment, and beyond your ripple effect.
I know the Bible I've been learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been under the teaching of like Dr. Darius Daniels for like the past 2 years now. And, what you're saying can be literal too. And he makes a point to also talk about sometimes the Bible is not always literal.
Right. Well, how about you can move emotional mountains?
Yeah. That's what he's talking about.
You can move all types of mountains. In other words, it's literally any mountain.
So I just want to put that out there too. Like, sometimes like people will miss the point sometimes. And they miss the whole point of the sermon or the scripture.
Right.
They looking at like, how you supposed to do that? That didn't sound real. Sometimes it's not supposed to be. It's not literal. Sometimes it's like metaphorically. It's like telling a story.
A figurative mountain.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a very good
nugget
one.
out there,
Good nugget. So what would you say that you would advise to people if you were to talk to, our audience, everybody that sees this, anybody you were to come in contact with, to really express to them how to go from existing to living, or what the difference really means in life?
I think first you gotta figure out what your purpose is. Like, I think that's the beginning of it.
How do you do that?
Man, I think everybody's story can be different. It is different for sure. I know mine was different. My story was, like I said, starting off young, being a kid, playing around with music. And realizing later on that was a gift God gave me. And then playing around with art, I realized like that's one of my gifts too, like art. And as time went on, as I got older, I started developing to like actually working with people, like working with artists, helping like young artists develop. So now I'm into music, I'm into art, I'm into like managing artists. Then I started evolving into, I want to start my own clothing brand. I started doing my own little clothing design.
Speaking of which,
this is one of the hats that will be available soon. This is a little hoodie
from the ministry department.
Ministry department. But yeah, I think everybody's story will be different. I know God talks to all of us different. You know, so He's not gonna talk to all of us the same because we're not the same. But I just think it takes. I think most people already kind of know what it is they're supposed to be doing or what it is they could be doing. I think if they don't know 100%, they got a little inkling of something that
passion.
Yeah, I think it's already in there.
I feel like what it really is about is like what ignites you, what makes you feel good.
That's it too.
Kind of like on Sister Act 2. Louis, what was her name? What was her name on there? Lauryn Hill. Remember her mom told you, or no, Whoopi Goldberg told you, if you wake up in the morning and all you can think about is singing, then you are a singer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you wake up in the morning, what gets you going, what really does make you want to get out of the bed, whether that's human resources, which some of my friends, that's their passion, human resources, truly helping people in that manner, you know, recruitment, whether it be, you know, washing windows because you like the end result of cleaning something that was filthy. I mean, I can't lie. When I was growing up, I used to love to clean the bathroom because, you know, in the bathroom, you clean every surface. So you literally can spray the whole room and clean it, and you can see the transformation. So just a little tidbit about me.
It's a minute thing. You hear that story about Steve Harvey talking about his best friend who cut grass?
No.
He said he cut grass. He was cutting grass as a kid, and he just loved cutting grass. He just loved landscaping, and now he's a multi-millionaire.
Exactly, because everybody needs the grass cut.
Doing grass, landscaping. He's a multi-millionaire now doing grass. Like,
because he was passionate about it.
Passionate about cutting grass and landscaping as a kid. And he grew into it and developed his craft and had his own company now.
I mean, and that's very realistic. I'm just saying, look at Edward Scissorhands. Not to be funny, but no, seriously, like there's some child out here, don't play, who watched Edward Scissorhands and was thinking, I'm going to do that to a bush as soon as they let me play with scissors. You know what I mean?
That's a classic movie, though.
It really is. It was really good. Johnny Depp, shout out, you know? But so with regard, okay, I know you gave us, you know, your information and stuff, but I would like the people to hear your talents. Could you, like, you know? I
can't rap right now, man. I gotta
You're not
gonna
give us a hot 16.
I just dropped the new freestyle today on my Instagram.
Okay, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Nonfixion, but it's spelled NONFIXION_. And it's a new freestyle on there. And on my Facebook, it's Christopher Nonfiction Reader.
He'll be tagged as we
so y'all can check out the new stuff I just dropped today. I'll put it on the spot.
I have to though. But our clothing line is also dropping. Our merch rather for Lavish Conversations. It says, "I'm living. Existing is not enough." We have different style shirts, different colors. They'll be dropping in the morning. Do you have anything you want to leave the people with? I know you got straight out of traffic and came right up here.
That's cool, man.
We really appreciate
Forgot about that. St. Charles County traffic, got all about it, bro.
Okay. Business.
Hey.
Disregard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he had to catch a flight to see me. So he got caught in the layover traffic. I just want to encourage everyone, truly, like, let that light, like one of our people in the chat said, let the light shine. And I feel like that's one of the most important things that I want to get through, you know, to everybody through these conversations as we continue to, you know, have them, you know. That's why I have Nonfixion here today, because, like, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you feel like your reach is, always remember your reach is much further. Like, that ripple just keeps going because we all are connected, honestly, you know. And so because we are all connected, when you hurt, I hurt, you know. If I stub my toe, you know, it still goes to my brain. The signal still travels to the same place, you know. But so I definitely encourage you to get out here and make sure you're not just existing. Make sure you're living. We have a shirt for Nonfixion. We shipped our package off to Aaron just to confirm that was done as according to plan. We have a couple of shirts here, different shirts for Nonfixion to pick. You have a preference, or you?
I'll take the gray one.
Let me. Which one? Though? We have two different grays.
I'll take that one. You got it right there.
We have this. Okay. We have this gray here, which says "Existing is not enough." And then we have this one, which is the
Take that.
traditional. This one, the traditional.
Gracias.
De nada. But so, yes. Join us, for our next lavish conversation. Make sure that you are out here living and not just existing, because it is not enough. And make your self-care a requirement today. Make sure you check out Lavish Bars, because you are not an option. Again, Nonfixion, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Woo!
you. You can go to championsleague.com and get all the newest updates on the music, the brand, the clothing, all that's on championsleague.com.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining me. And our next guest is actually going to be Akima Bashal. I think I said her last name right. I've never said her last name out loud before, but her name is Akima, and I will be giving you her information and listing the event. It'll be this Friday. I hope to see you all there. Have a beautiful day.